Welcome back to the channel, boys. Fabloonski's coming at you neck with this Endgame Helm of Saint 14 build. Now this is the build that I would probably use if I was to main Code of the Protector, which is top tree on Sentinel Titan. If I was to, run the raids and have to be the one to pop bubble all the time, this build will allow you to have just about a bubble for every encounter, probably even more than that. I specifically would trying this out in the Nightfall, so being able to have my bubble for every single encounter in the Nightfall, anytime I need to pop it to save my teammates, save myself, or just to get that extra damage and get that overshield is going to be very useful, very valuable, because Titan Bubble is one of the best supers for that support style of play and protecting your teammate while also providing some kind of offensive capabilities with the weapons of light. So let's go ahead and show this build off. Now obviously, like I said in the beginning of the video, my subclass of choice is Code of the Protector, which is top tree Sentinel Titan, mainly just for the Titan Bubble. Pretty simple and basic subclass, but the Titan Bubble is just so extremely valuable. Like being able to put a dome around your teammates so they have some place to hide, give yourself an overshield while standing in it, give yourself a weapon buff, or anybody honestly, not even just yourself. That weapon buff is just so valuable in literally every part of the game, whether it's raids, nightfalls, dungeons, it doesn't even matter. You can always use a Titan Bubble, right? So this is a very good subclass for the end game content. So I will be taking this build into a Nightfall. So my loadout is going to consist of a sniper. I got long shot with rapid hit explosive payload. I really like this sniper. I got a pulse rifle, an arc pulse rifle, because this week there is quite a few arc shields. I got demolitionist swashbuckler with unstoppable burst, and then we're rocking xenophage. This is top tier exotic at the moment. It is very good for burning down these champions and boss damage. So just using xenophage for the solar honestly, and just to deal with these champions. As for my stats, I have 54 mobility, 51 resilience, which is pretty good, so I can have my barricade on a 30-second cooldown, 44 recovery, if this could be a little higher, I would take it as well. Now we got 100 discipline, flat 100 discipline, extremely important. My grenade is going to be on a 32-second cooldown. I want to be able to have my grenade a lot in this build, although that's not the main focus of it. I just like having a lot of grenades. I think it's better than having a lot of melee charges, because in Nightfalls, being able to put out a lot of damage from a distance is very valuable. I have 53 intellect, which there's other ways to overcome this, but honestly 53 is a pretty good point you want to hit. It's not too low, not too high, where you can use some of these other points in, let's say, discipline or recovery or something like that. So 53 is a good medium, and then we got 22 strength. So let's start with the helmet, which is actually my exotic piece of choice, and is what this build kind of revolves around. Helm of Saint 14. Most of you guys, if not all you guys, especially my Titan mains, know exactly what this helmet does. But as for the people who don't, it provides the perk Starless Night. Enemies that enter Ward of Dawn are blinded, while allies that pass through gain an overshield. Guarding the Sentinel shield blinds nearby enemies. So even if just run through it, you get an overshield, and you can keep running in and keep running out and just get that overshield. A very good support exotic, and just the fact that any enemies that enter the bubble become blinded makes them very easy to deal with, and it makes your bubble just even that much more safer. I also have a concussive dampener mod. I have special ammo finder so I can get some more sniper shots, and then we got machine gun ammo finder so I can get more xenophage shots. On my arms, I'm running a discipline mod as well. We're running double enhanced pulse rifle loader just because honestly I don't know why, this is what we're doing. And then we got supercharged, so I can have 4 stacks of charge with light up from 2. This is a charge with light build, so I want to have as much stacks as possible. On my chest piece, we're running another discipline mod, and we got counter charge, so whenever any of the champions in the Nightfall become dealt with, I get a stack of charge with light. And then we're running energy converter. This is also a mod that this build is kind of revolving around. So whenever I'm charged with light, whenever I use my super, I gain a maximum of 50% of my super energy, consuming the stacks obviously. Now it's only if you are under 50%. As soon as you're over 50%, this mod does not work. So as long as I pop my bubble and immediately throw my grenade, I'm going to get a huge chunk of super energy, and then all I have to do is make up for that last 50%. An extremely good exotic for any subclass or any type of build that doesn't have a super regen attached to it. You're going to want to use this mod. On my legs, we're running another discipline mod. We got sword ammo scavenger. I'm not even running a sword, but let's go with it. We're running sword ammo scavenger, and then we got sniper rifle scavenger because obviously I'm running the long shadow, and then we got taking charge. So whenever I pick up an orb of light, I become charged with light. I'm running a pulse rifle. I believe I have it masterworked, so just generating orbs, and plus my teammates whenever they pop super, and if they are running masterworked weapons as well, I'm gonna be able to become charged with light with that. And on my Titan mark, we got another discipline mod. We got recuperation, pretty good in the Nightfall, so whenever I pick up an Orb of Light, I get some health. I'm generating Orbs of Light with my weapon, so this is pretty good. We got enhanced ashes to assets, so whenever I get whenever I get grenade kills, I gain super energy. I'm gonna have a lot of grenades, so I want to be able to have as much super as possible. It's gonna help make up for that last 50% I need. And then we got charged up, so I can have one more stack of charge with light. So now I have a maximum of 5 stacks of charge with light. So whenever I do throw my grenade, as long as I have 5 stacks, I get 50% of my super energy. Then meaning I have to make up for that last 50%, which is when ashes to assets comes into play. Pretty good coordination right here, a lot of good synergy with this build throughout. So what can I say about this build? Well, it's a Titan Bubble build, and Titan Bubble is pretty much good in every single endgame content, unless you're doing like Last Wish and you're on Suro Chi, where there is a lot of ads and you gotta have an ad clear super. But even then, I mean, you can actually now you probably want an ad clear super for that. I wouldn't say that you can still rock this, but Helm of Saint 14 can still be used with regular, like if you want Middle Tree Sentinel Titan and you guarded with it, it would still blind nearby allies. So you can even just, if you're on Suro Chi, just swap to that Middle Tree Sentinel real quick and then swap right back to Bubble for the rest of the raid. Having Bubble Titan just on such a short cooldown with this build is valuable in almost every situation, even if you don't necessarily require a bubble for the specific encounter. Like if you're confident enough in your weapons and your skill, you feel like you can do it, but a bubble would just make it that much more easier, giving you that damage buff and giving you a safe place to hide is just so good. You know, it makes every encounter almost trivial in my opinion. Unless, I mean, there is some, I mean, I bet you if this was a Grandmaster, not when the bubble isn't up, it would be a lot harder. But as you guys can see, like, just chunking down the bosses and being able to do damage to any type of beefier target is just so valuable. Oh, and I also think that the energy converter mod isn't working the way it should. I think it might be a little bit bugged. I noticed that whenever I had 5 stacks of charge light and I threw my grenade, I wasn't getting that full 50% energy. I don't know if you guys noticed the same thing. I'm getting about like 35 to maybe 40-ish% energy, which is still, I mean, sure, that's still amazing. But I don't think it's working. Maybe it's just a little bit bugged. I don't know. I haven't really read the TWABs and I don't recall anything saying anything about it. But yeah, I mean, even though it's still bugged and not getting the full 50%, getting like 30, 35, 40% of your super is still incredibly valuable. So I recommend doing this, trying this build out. If you need an end game build and you're really struggling and you say you need a more safer option for the super, Titan Bubble is the way to go. If of course, if you want more ad clear and you feel a little bit more confident, you can try other stuff, but still your team will always be happy for running Titan Bubble. But if you guys like this content, please like, subscribe, and share. It truly helps me out a lot. You can also check out my other videos. Links are in the description below. I have a lot of crazy builds, so go ahead and check that out. And you might as well follow my social media. I have a Twitter and an Instagram, both at @fat_Bloonskis. But with all that being said, deuces.